Well, good evening. My name is Todd Hayes, and I am running for Cherokee County Solicitor General. I need your help, I need your support, and most of all, I need your vote on May the 22nd. I'm running for Solicitor General because Cherokee County deserves an experienced, trusted, proven leader with a track record of excellence in order to lead this county's misdemeanor prosecution into the 21st century. I've got some very specific things I'd like to do as your Solicitor General, and I'm very proud to say that we're well on our way to achieving those things because I've spent the last 2.5 years as your Chief Assistant Solicitor General. So in that time, I've worked with your current Solicitor, Jessica Moss, to build very sincere and deep partnerships with our police so that we know how to bring their cases forward when it comes time to take them to court. We've also worked very hard to make sure that every victim in Cherokee County has a voice and that every street in Cherokee County is kept safe. As your next Solicitor General, I'll continue to do that, and I've definitely got the experience and the track record to prove to you that I can. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to having your support on May 22nd.
My name is Sarah Hobson. I live in Woodstock with my husband Chris and our 4 children. I have a unique perspective and a broad range of experience. I'm a trial attorney, I'm a small business owner, I'm a law firm managing partner, and I'm a former Assistant Solicitor General. I'm running for Cherokee County Solicitor General. I'm looking to bring prosecution with a purpose while upholding the Constitution by utilizing, this is my crew, by utilizing a common sense approach to prosecuting misdemeanors. This will ensure that dangerous criminals remain behind bars and citizens that have simply made a mistake go on to be redirected and held accountable and go on to be contributing members of society. I am proud to have the endorsement of retired Sheriff Roger Garrison. His support proves that the men and women with decades of experience in keeping our county safe believe in prosecution with a purpose and a common approach to that. And I believe that this will ensure that we are being good stewards of taxpayer dollars. And I look for your support. Please vote for me, Sarah Hobson.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Sarah, the first question is the questions are for both of you, but the first one will start with you this time. And it has to do with endorsements. You just mentioned that in your remarks. Both of you have been endorsed rather prominently in this race. My question to you is, how important do you feel endorsements are in this particular race?
I think it helps people understand what type of people are supporting you. If they know that person very well, they may trust their opinion. And so I think it is helpful in guiding people if they are not able to come to their own conclusion on their own. And I am an outsider. I believe that I'll never get the insider's local establishment support. But I'm very thankful for Roger Garrison's endorsement.
I think you have to look a little deeper behind the endorsement and first of all understand what are the reasons that they've endorsed you. In terms of Sheriff Garrison, I very much respect his opinion. He certainly provided a lot of leadership to this county. But when he indicated the reasons that he supports my opponent, what he said was that he basically wanted to make sure that she and the current sheriff work together to keep the overcrowding situation at the jail down. Those numbers simply don't support that reason for the endorsement. I ran the numbers last Thursday. Approximately 10% of our current jail population is attributable to misdemeanors. 10%. What that tells you is that we are already doing a very, very good job of making sure that those misdemeanor cases are moved through the system properly. The people who do not need to remain in custody don't. The endorsement I've got that I'm most proud of so far, there are 2 of them. Barry Morgan, who's the Solicitor General in Cobb County, and Shannon Wallace, who's the DA in Cherokee. Mr. Morgan had both of us work for him at one point in time. I spent almost 5 years with him. Ms. Hobson spent 15 months with him as a prosecutor. Mr. Morgan had a chance to see us do this job, and his support, and let's face it, Barry Morgan has been a solicitor for almost 20 years. His support is on this side of the aisle.
Thank you very much. Todd, we'll start this next question with you. The question says, I've heard that current assistants can't even modify speeding tickets. What authority will yours have?
Speeding is a very big problem in our county right now, especially in certain roadways like Highway 20 where the infrastructure doesn't support the traffic. And if you get up on 575 north of Airport Road, it is very common for us to see speeds in the 100 teens. It's very common. Because of that serious situation, my current boss, Jessica Moss, has taken it upon herself to review those speeding tickets to make sure that we know where those high speeds are and what roadways they're occurring on. As her chief assistant, I work under her authority, and I actually understand authority, and I submit to authority. When I don't have the authority, I don't try to exert it. However, I have said, and I stand by the fact that I believe you ought to hire people who have the common sense to do the job you hire them to do. And yes, I absolutely will be looking to return some of that accountability back into the courtrooms to allow assistants to make their own decisions, because they too live in this county, and they are also very vested in making sure that those speed controls are in place and we're doing the right thing case to case.
Sarah, would you care to comment on that?
Absolutely. I think my opponent likes to talk out of both sides of his mouth. At one point, he says that he runs the office. On the other point, when there's a question about why certain policies are going on, it's, well, I work for the Solicitor General. The fact is that the Solicitor General needs to hire people that they trust their discernment. They're hiring trained attorneys who are capable of prosecuting a speeding ticket. And that's what I will do. I do that in my own firm. I'm responsible for hiring and firing, and I'll do that as your next Solicitor General.
Thank you, Todd. You have 30 seconds.
The fact of the matter is I do help Jessica run the office. But here's the thing. When Jessica says, this is the way I want something done, it is my job as her chief assistant to see that it is done exactly the way that she directs. Just as I will expect my chief assistant to do the same thing. A chief's job is to stand in the elected's place. It's important to understand how the office works in order to be able to build one successfully.
Thank you very much. Sarah, this next question, we start with you. How many criminal cases have you handled in Cherokee County? How many as a prosecutor?
I've never prosecuted in Cherokee County. I was the Assistant Solicitor General in Cobb County. So I've never prosecuted in Cherokee County. I have no idea how many cases I've handled in Cherokee County. Lately, not many. It's very difficult to get cases moved, particularly when I have to charge the client for the extra cost in getting attorneys to respond to questions, to get discovery to me on time, and when a minor speeding ticket has to get ran all the way up the pole to the Solicitor General.
Todd, same question.
I'll answer both. Since I came to Cherokee County in November of 2015, I have handled almost 1,000 cases in our state in magistrate courts. That's both as a team leader in Judge Homeyer's courtroom, and that's also handling cases in front of Judge Drain in the magistrate court. I actually can answer the question about Mrs. Hobson. She's handled 34 cases in both Superior and State Court since 2013, none of which have resulted in a trial, so she's never actually prosecuted a trial in Cherokee County.
I'd just like to clarify that. I have had a bench trial. There are different types of trials. Jury trials are done in front of judges. I have had motions, hearings, and bench trials in Cherokee County, just to clarify.
Thank you. Our next question says that the current office has lost over 2 attorneys per year. What plans for retention do you have if you take office? And we will start that question, I believe, with Todd.
The Solicitor General's office is actually a really neat place for young attorneys, and here's why. Attorneys right out of law school love to come work for a Solicitor General's office because they know they will get immediate trial experience, and it is our responsibility to provide the training and the background and the depth for those young attorneys so that they can, when they are ready, go out on their own. And I am proud to say that as you walk up and down the streets of Main Street, Canton, or the streets of Woodstock, if you go and look at the shingles that are hanging out right now, many of those successful attorneys that I could call by name, Ben Huntington for one, Whit Frost for another, many of those people have worked in our office. So it's simply not a case that the turnover is something we're doing. It is simply that those young attorneys are coming in, they're being trained, they're growing up in the right kind of way, and they're going out to build the next generation's bar. And that's why we have such a cordial relationship with our bar in Cherokee County, is because we helped train them, and they know that we can trust them, and that they can trust us when we give our word.
Again, I have to point out, that's exactly what I did as an Assistant Solicitor General, and somehow that's a knock against me. But that's what I did. I got trial experience, tried as many cases as I could handle, and then some. I would go around asking other attorneys if I could try their cases, and then I went out to be the next generation on the private side. I believe that we do need prosecutors who have been on both sides. You need to know offense and defense to do your job effectively. You need to anticipate what your opposition is going to be arguing in court. So I would like to retain people who have experience on both sides. I would like to bring people who have experience on both sides, because I believe that's what the taxpayers of Cherokee County deserve, is people with experience and a broad perspective who will treat people with dignity when they go through our state court.
Speaking to the experience factor, I'd like to point out that our team leads are some of the most experienced team leads you'll find in any prosecutor's office anywhere in the state. David McElroy, who is our team lead in Judge Jordan's courtroom, has 13 and a half, maybe 14 years of experience in our state court system. He's also the founding prosecutor of our DUI court. Chris Rock, who is our team lead in Judge Morris's courtroom, has about 12 or 13 years of experience. And our youngest team lead, Rachel Ash, has about 5 years of experience as a prosecutor. So we are talent-laden and we are experience-heavy, and especially in our team leads.
Thank you very much. And our final question this evening, many of these questions have a lot in common with a few nuances. This will be our final question. Sarah, we'll start with you. How many cases have you taken to trial, and out of those, how many have you been lead counsel?
I do not have any idea. I can tell you my most recent one was in November in Fulton County, and the jury was out for 5 minutes, and we won that trial. I have not tried any cases since I've been campaigning. I am representing people, but we have pushed the cases off until after the campaign.
Thank you, Todd.
Remind me one more time, what was the actual number?
The actual question was, how many cases have you taken to trial, and of those, how many have you been lead counsel?
In a 15-year career, it's pushing 100. I would be lying to you if I tried to give you a number. And in terms of being lead counsel, and this includes cases that I've tried at the Prosecuting Attorney's Council in every corner of the state. Every case I've tried, I was the lead counsel on.
Thank you very much. We'll move now to closing statements. And Sarah, we'll start with you.
Thank you. I am a political outsider. I am never going to win the support of the local establishment who will always support the insider. However, my strategy from the beginning of this campaign was to take my vision directly to the doors of the voters. I have chosen to walk neighborhoods daily, 8-9 hours a day, to make personal phone calls, and to build coalitions by taking my message to the streets. Because I care, not about the political insiders, but about the citizens of Cherokee County. The Office of Solicitor General is the personal representative of our citizens. I have chosen to have one-on-one conversations on their doorstep so we can have candid conversations about criminal justice and personal connections. This has been a very enriching and enlightening experience for me. I've spoken with both victims of crime and those who've been prosecuted for misdemeanors. One thing every voter has in common is they want a Solicitor General who will seek justice, not tally convictions, who will uphold the Constitution.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter what kind of prosecutor you are. You have one mission, and it is to seek justice and to love mercy and to walk humbly before your God. I have no idea why I am being called a political insider or a career politician. I've never run for anything before in my life, but I know this. I've spent 15 years in every corner of this state looking out for victims of crimes, protecting our streets, looking out for your family. And for the last 2.5 years, I've been privileged to do it here in our community for you. At the end of the day, what you want to do when Jessica Moss retires is replace experience with experience. You want to know that there's a firm hand on the tiller. You want to know that the person who's actually doing the job has the chops to do the job. And I promise you this, you can find my track record, it's easy to find. And no matter what else I do, I will seek justice, love mercy, and walk humbly.
Todd, Sarah, thank you very much.